Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and I am continuing on with my Chucky reviews. It's super early in the morning, and I had to get these out. This one is probably my least favorite, so I'm sorry. So we're still with Chucky, and we're on to Seed of Chucky. Seed of Chucky is a really interesting one because I remember the DVD coming out, and I told my mom I want can I watch this? She's like, it's Chucky, so you can watch it, but just as long as I don't hear you repeat anything bad. But when I was watching it, I liked it as a kid because I liked the meta jokes, and I liked how Chucky was just basically still like self-aware. But as time went on, like I just started not liking it so much. Like I just found it boring. Now, I did go back and watch this because I was like, maybe there's some things there that I probably missed and probably I'll like. I'm sorry, guys. This film, I'm going to give a bad. Yes, this film is bad. Now, the positives are the voice acting is really good. Some of the meta jokes are really funny. But the overall atmosphere is like trying to be more self-aware. It's basically like how Scream 4 went. Like, it got too self-aware. And that's not like my kind of taste. And that's really what's saving it from being like horrible. The film can get pretty boring at times, and some of the self-aware humor is still a little funny. Voice acting's good, some of the meta jokes are funny, but overall, it's like how it feels. The movie feels like as if it's trying to be something like that it really isn't. It is not horror. It is not like anything like that. It is just awful. It's an awful movie, and it has an awful like premise. But overall, the film is basically about their son who was born at the end of Bride. Of course, spoilers. And you follow him, and he doesn't want to pursue the life that they had. In the film, that's written and directed by Don Mancini. He had written every Chucky movie. This, I believe, was his directional debut. And this is the last Chucky movie to get a theatrical release up until the recent Child's Play movie. And what's interesting about this is, like, let's say this film was well received and it was genuinely funny. I believe we wouldn't have gotten the last two Chucky movies as they are. And Seed went on like a really long hiatus. Like, it was so long, like it's ridiculous. Like, if you think of Child's Play 3 from like 91 to 98, like a good 7 years. Here, like, let me see. When did Curse come out? Curse of Chucky. Please tell me it says. The unrated version of Curse is just 2 minutes more. Unrated version of Call This just 1 minute more. Because I think, this film was released in 2004. In 2013, a good 9 years. A good 9 years. And it was because I don't think this film was that much of a flop. It made back some of its budget, but it was not a big success. And Chucky has slipped away to obscurity, but Chucky was still very popular. Like, he had DVD sets, he had merchandise. And I remember when they were coming out with The Curse of Chucky, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to see what they're gonna do. And I was watching it on Netflix, and I just loved it. It was a direct-to-DVD, and I believe it made $2 million in DVD sales, which is pretty good. And Cult did the same thing. Now I believe there's going to be direct-to-DVD or just stream. But then when you look at the new Child's Play movie that came out, that's pretty impressive. Overall, this film, it feels incomplete to me. The insertion of John Waters, yeah, I get it. He was a fan of the Child's Play movies, but the main reason why I didn't like it was because I don't know, it felt like nothing fit in. Like, nothing fits in here. What Bride of Chucky things fit in because it was parodying, like, it was, like, being, like, Scream, like, self-aware humor. Like, don't get me wrong, Scream self-aware humor was pretty funny. Especially the first two. The third one I haven't seen in, like, years. The fourth one I remember I didn't like it too much. But then when you look at films like I Know You Did Last Summer, that really shows. And with Bride of Chucky especially, it shows. Seed really feels like an incomplete movie. It feels like they're trying to do way too much at one time. And then when you look at all the other films, it feels like, let's see what we can shoot out before the audience gets bored. And that's how I really feel about this movie. It's not like the film is... Like, I met some people who have actually liked this film and they defend it because they're like, oh, it's just Chucky. Well, in my opinion, every series does have, like, something. Like where I could say, that could have been better. That should have been better. And, yeah. Like, this is so far, the only Child's Play movie that I know that contains nudity. In the opening scene, there's nudity. And how long is the unrated version here? Oh no, it is just the unrated version. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I can understand if you had to cut some stuff out, but why have, like, two separate versions like that? Because the thing is, there are, like, some things in Child's Play that are really interesting. But, like, Seed, it feels like nothing's interesting. They repeat some, like, jokes. Like, okay, Child's Play 3, like, repeated, like, a whole, like, concept, like, from the first two movies. But here, it's literally, like, it feels like it's piggybacking off Bride. Like, okay, Bride was a success, so let's do what Bride did. And this is, like, the only time you meet Chucky's son, and according to Damancini, he's supposed to be coming back, which angers, like, some people, because they were like, oh, well, why would you bring him back? He wasn't really that good. And I don't care, because, like, here's the thing, like, Damancini has proven to have gotten better over time with his direction and his writing. Like, and I'm pretty sure he can come up with an interesting story. The thing is, what makes Chucky even more interesting here than in all the other ones, like, not gonna lie, is, like, the timing feels better, like, with some of the jokes. Like, there's a joke, like, when they're talking about violence, and he's like, not violence, violins. And it is funny, it's cheap, but I like it. The thing is with this, it does have some pretty good kills. That's another good defense, because some of the kills are pretty creative, some of the kills are rather interesting, but at times the film feels like it's been trying to do so much. It feels like that it's trying to be something else that it should be. In my opinion, it's not the worst film ever made. It's not the cringiest movie. It's probably, in my opinion, the worst Chucky movie. But for all I know, like, some people say the third one, Child's Play 3, is the worst. But I've heard people say they don't like the first Child's Play movie because they say it's dull. Like, I heard, like, random things. But my personal opinion, this is probably the weakest of Link. But that doesn't mean I hate watching it. Like, horrible is a film I hate watching. Bad is a film I don't mind watching because there's something saving it. I mean, it makes no sense, like, if I were to watch a film, like, that I really didn't like and just move on with it. Chucky feels complete in a little bit here, even though he's part of an incomplete film. I highly recommend that you check out the Chucky series. You don't have to watch Seed. Seed is, like, the one, like, where you don't have to watch, but it kind of makes sense if you want to follow continuity. And it does a good job with that, like, at times, with continuity. But sometimes it goes all over the place. Like, the whole film, how it opens up. Like, you get, like, kills. And granted, I do like the one-shot feel. I like one-shot feeling movies. Because I like when everything gets done in one shot. Like, that's why I like films like Birdman. A reason why the film does not get it good is because I felt like there were not a lot of funny moments, forced meta jokes at times, and like it stars Jennifer Tilly as both herself and voicing a doll, and it can get funny. Don't get me wrong, the meta jokes can get funny, but here, but at times it feels like when she's talking to herself, it feels like you're just being a part of something like really dumb and stupid. And like the final incantation, like a lot of people have said, doesn't make sense. But I don't care. The film was nearly over at that time, so I was safe. This is not the hardest film I had to sit through watching. But like I said, because I liked it when I was a kid. If I were a kid again and I were to give it a rating, it would probably be a grade actually. But now, like years later, like over 10 years later, I'll probably have to give this film a bad. This is by far my least favorite. I hope that you guys can tell me what you think of any of these movies if you've seen them. Comment down below. But you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this review. That's pretty much all I got. But if you guys are interested in the movies, I'll put a link down in the description for the last Chucky movie that I review. And I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you guys wish to see more reviews like this. And today is a new Let's Play, so be sure to check that out. I believe I'm doing L.A. Noire today. And that's going to be throughout the whole month. We finished Back to the Future, and guys, be expecting a 3-video review today. Because I'm also going to be doing a Back to the Future style review. And that's it out of me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys have an amazing day. My name's Isaiah Hill, signing off.